Welcome back to Easy to Spell, where the name is easy to spell. We did it wrong anyway. I'm your Dungeon Master. We are playing 5th edition, the objectively worse than 4th edition version of D&D. Joining me tonight, our cast, as always, beginning with...
Hi, I'm Mike, and I play Alder, and I've never played any other editions, so I don't know.
Hi, I'm Rachel, and I play Wizard.
I'm Will, and I play Doman, and I don't know if I'm more upset about the dead baby
not playing
joke or
Doman.
Andrew's
You're not playing
comment.
Doman.
You're right,
You're
I'm playing O'Relton this time around, sorry.
I'm so confused. He's playing the wrong character now.
What year is it?
My name's David. I'm playing Kaya, and I'm glad he said objectively.
Ah.
As opposed to... Because it's objective, it's correct. What's
No.
What are we talking about?
No, that's right, that's the more offensive. Subjectively means you get to decide.
Subjectively means, like, in my opinion.
Yeah, objectively
Objective
means
like...
this object.
My
This
name's
is-
David, and I'm bad at English.
Yeah, that was pretty much my controversial take of the evening. That was just directed at David and Will. I knew that Rachel and Mike may not have an opinion on that specific one. If you're missing the joke, go back and watch our last episodes. We've been doing this for a while. I just have been opening with a real shitty take on stuff. Welcome back. We are going to be kicking back off in the aquatic city of Quelcheron. The party has traveled from their prime material, being transported into a wasteland, a desert sea, which they traversed over the course of a day or a couple days. Not even with the spell slots dumped into the airship, which has been parked outside. Before you encountered a dome of water. The only thing, piercing the outside of the bubble is the single spire of a tremendous lighthouse, which is what drew your attention here in the first place. After meeting one of the sea elf guards who led you into the city, pointed you towards a tavern, bestowed upon you stones that once ingested kind of perpetually allow you to breathe and speak underwater. Dumped a bunch of exposition, as was rightfully called out by Gabi, that this dude just seemed overly enthusiastic with just sharing the history of the city, and has left you to go about your own just business. Meeting in the tavern, you discussed whether or not it was even necessary for you to meet with the first spear to try to recover the shard of devouring, as you've discovered is connected to the city in some way. It is the morning after you've arrived, you've slept at the friendly anemone, that you all wake up, fully rejuvenated, regaining all spell slots. We're not on that half spell slot recovery that you were in the magic depraved wastelands previously. One thing we're going to do is, because I don't want to worry about trying to figure out conversions in a currency system, we're just going to pretend that you guys figured out the appropriate gold to Quillbeck conversion ratio and have exchanged money, and we're just going to fucking call it gold. We're going to do that because I'm going to get confused and I'm going to give you way too much money or take a bunch from you. If we do this right, we're just going to assume you got a little screwed over in the first couple. Somebody pointed it out and you have now the correct. That is just for me and my sake.
That's a retcon decision.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're just going to roll that in going forward. And now with you all kind of gathering in the morning, having taken your pill, if you've chosen to do so, for breakfast. And I'm going to hand the game over to you guys.
Quick question.
Glad to see you're alive and awake this morning, Bauer. Feeling better?
Yeah. I guess the wasteland kind of took a little more for me than I thought.
Yeah, well, when you dump that much magic into a ship, bound to knock you out.
Rachel, you had a question?
I did. Does the stone have like an instant cutoff when it ends, or does it like fade?
Do you wait to find out?
Yeah.
There is
no.
you're sitting
Gabby's
there
gone.
looking at your next to you, which is like a fucking golf ball sized pill. Looking at this. And you can
Maybe
hear
later.
like sounds and things moving around as normal, but then it kind of starts getting muffled, and you feel pressure building in your ears, and you can still breathe, but it's like when you're in a tent and you've had a heater going, and you realize that like there's just not enough oxygen. It does begin to fade.
I'm basically gonna push to the point where I'm like panicky, can't breathe, ears are pounding before I try and swallow this thing.
Okay, and that's you do. By the time you actually take the pill, when you wait to that point, like it is burn like pain. The pressure from being here, which is in the kind of that central city district surrounding the lighthouse keep, there is a tremendous amount of water pressing in on. Not like one. This is not like if you swim down and you've got water coming directly down. All sides, as it is a dome being pulled towards a central point. It's going to be bad if you suddenly lose the affectation of this spell.
Yeah, well, I took it.
What's our game plan, guys?
Well, we talked about talking to the spear, but we don't want to offend anybody, so maybe we just observe the town a little bit and see how people interact.
Yeah, what'd you guys find out?
We
What
have
did we find out?
explosion stones in our stomach.
Yeah, but maybe let's keep that down a little bit.
Wait, hold on. What? I must have missed that. What?
These guys are little breather stones. They can reject the effects of them at any point in time if anybody misbehaves to a detrimental effect, is what I've been told. They blow them up.
That'd have been nice to know before I took my second dose. But I guess what else am I gonna do?
Believe me, it's not pleasant if you don't.
Yeah, I saw you struggling there. Got a little worried for a second, actually.
Yeah, your ears start ringing.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot more than that happens. Well, so did you guys come up with any sort of plan where we're going to, or?
No,
I'd kind of like
Go ahead.
I'd kind of like to know a little bit more about this beast that they talk about, and how that and the shard work together.
Sounds good to me.
Because they said, correct me if I'm wrong, they said if you can defeat the beast, you can take the spear, right? Or is it just a trial of some sort?
Well, they didn't necessarily say exactly what the trial would be, but it kind of seemed like since the beast and the stone are connected, and that they're making sure it stays at bay, that that's probably what we have to do, is defeat the beast.
So either way, I'd like to know more about whatever that whole thing is. And that's all I got.
You want to ask around or go read?
I don't know. Is that something you can find at a library, or would talking to the first spear be like our best bet for that?
I'm sure the spear would tell us plenty about the path ahead.
What if we got a teacher to teach us manners?
I'm surprised you know what that is, Czar.
Everybody has manners.
No, the teacher.
D-
part.
DM interjection here. Please don't make me make up an entire like etiquette protocol for this city and give you guys etiquette lessons. Please don't take out. If you, I'll do it if that's what you guys do. Please don't.
Well, let's get some food and kind of just observe for a little bit and see the interactions everybody has, and maybe we go talk to the spear.
Good enough.
I mean, we could just ask around, like, hey, we don't want to offend anybody here. Is there something we should not do? Leave it at that.
Oh, we
There's,
can kill two birds with one stone. I'll just like flag down whoever's serving tables at the inn this morning.
The same mermaid woman with the wide kind of shark tooth smile flits around, approaches the table. Ready for
Hoping
another?
we could get grub all around this morning if we could.
Of course. That's a similar interest to what we had the previous evening.
That'd be fine for me. And then whatever this guy wants, I'll point at power.
Actually, just more of a couple questions for you. Is there? Obviously, we're not from around here, right? Are there a few things? That's wait, the teeth you have there. Very nice and shiny. Are there things that we should be doing or should not be doing? Like, we don't want to offend anybody or do something wrong that's going to get us,
You heard of the stones? It's more of a criminality depressor. Don't steal, pay for your food, tip well. No one's going to be offended by some slight and decide to crush you in the pressure.
Perfect. Well, with that, what do you have for some morning ale?
We're just gonna just roll through you guys ordering food. You all get stuff that makes you pretty happy. The only thing I think worth describing is, Gabi, you get effectively what is like a Capri Sun pouch that when you squeeze, it's like astronaut food, like a bubble of blood. Well, yeah, and you can astronaut food your fish goo. Other than that, you guys get an assorted. They've got a number of different, primarily aquamarine based dishes.
Fucking hate kelp.
That's maybe true, but I think I prefer the foods that are got this time less messy.
You want some?
No, I'm good. I'm stuffed. I just want to kind of observe during breakfast and see if there's anybody keeping an eye on us, or like any notable interactions between a couple people or anything like that.
Okay, give me a perception check.
23.
23. It's pretty slow. Last night was much more busy, realizing that there's not a lot of people who stay at the tavern. It's more of a going, like the place people go to unwind, get a drink. Most of the people here are more permanent than you think would just stay in a tavern or an inn. So nothing particularly notable. Yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. That's
Cool.
All right. First spirit time, huh?
Yeah. Do we know where we're going?
I think they gave us directions yesterday, yeah.
Okay.
to the big building. She points.
Thank you. And I'll leave a normal sized tip.
How much you tip?
A gold's worth for a tip.
Perfect,
We'll
yeah.
just
That's-
call it
yeah.
that.
I suppose we'll let you survive another day. She pulls the gold. Yeah. Beginning to head through the city. Not a lot of traffic. This early in the morning. You pass by a couple shops. Most of them are closed, but there are like weapon and equipment shops. There's one like a sorceress sundries bazaar. There is, as you approach the building, a large library, some sort of archive that you go past until you approach the stone-stepped walkway up to this massive palace, the top of which disappears and protrudes through the top of the this marine dome. You know it to be the lighthouse. This is the lighthouse keep. There are a number of guards, but they don't really pay any heed to you. They watch you, but nobody approaches. There is no gate. There is no door. You are free to enter.
I do so.
Yeah, I will follow.
Say, let's
along.
just head in.
You swim in. There is not a throne in the main entryway, which, looking up, there's not really a ceiling nearby. You can look what looks like all the way to the top, where there is a bright blue light. There is a winding staircase that runs down along the sides, coming to a stop in the room that you're in. It goes all the way to the top of this tower. I said, not a throne, but a simple, iron chair. Kind of leaning back on it is a deep blue-skinned woman. One of these long, 10-foot spears kind of leans against the back of her chair. Her black hair kind of lilting behind her. You are the new batch of shard seekers, are you not?
I'd say, yeah. Yeah, we are.
And she kind of floats up out of this kind of resting position. And it's behind her that you see what looks like a tremendous heart. A beating heart. The water around it has that light red mist as blood kind of dissipates. And you can feel it pulsing in the water.
That's interesting.
The heart itself is 10 feet across. It is massive. And you realize it is set in the stone.
Is it attached to anything?
Not
Veins or
from where
arteries
you can
coming in it?
see. It looks like it might just be set. Give me a perception or arcana check.
Am I good at either of those? Not really. Was an 18, and now it's a 3.
Okay.
I got a 22 on Arcana.
Okay.
It's
Cat or
fine.
Elton
Don't
just
even worry
really
about
rocking
Don't
the
even worry
bottom.
about it.
With the arcana, you notice, being so in tune with nature, the blood that's dispersing off of this should be going somewhere. You watch a little tendril as it mists off of one of the ventricles of the heart. Comes into contact, and you see a very faint lattice of runes that kind of very dimly, not lights up, but just becomes dimly visible. And the blood kind of disperses against it before fading off and diluting in the water. There is some sort of magical cage around this.
Okay.
The heart of our city. Familiarize yourself with it, for this is, as shard seekers, a key component of what you seek.
Could you maybe expound on that a little bit? Like, I know there's something that we're supposed to be doing involving a beast for this shard, but other than that, it's not real clear.
The shard you seek has taken the place of this creature's heart. It
Mm.
wanders the island of Terenkel on the prime material, where the city was once located, before me and my people became sea elves, when we were just another city of the Felden Waith. We transported ourselves and our home here to what once was a vast plain of water. Not the plain of water. Don't worry. We anchored its heart to keep the beasts constrained to the island we once called home.
So are you implying that if the beast gets too far from the heart, it may die?
The beast cannot get away from the heart, nor can it die, not truly. Before the shard was made a part of this balance, our position as the quelling spears was to consistently and perpetually damage the heart, not to the point of death, not to the point that the beast would reincarnate and continue its cycle, but to keep it weakened so it could not break free. The shard that Nero placed in the creature's chest does this for us. It subdues the creature so it cannot break its bonds. It's his work you seek to undo. The
Do
trial
we know
you
who
asked,
Nero is?
make a history check.
You could just say no.
You might.
Oh,
Gabi,
13.
you would not.
Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna use digital dice anymore. What the fuck is this?
Yeah, they're the worst.
I don't think I've rolled above a 10 in my last. Yeah, anyway.
Did anybody get above a 10 on a history check? Yeah? How far above a 10?
13.
13? This would have been something that came up talking to Vala. When you originally discussed the shards and how they were dispersed with a group of people that her grandmother, the Valkyrie herself, when they took these pieces of the spear and spread them through the world, Raven's uncle may have brought it up when you're traveling with him as well. Oh shit, what was Raven's uncle's name?
Alder, or not Alder? Fucking, that's my
Akron?
current name. Akron. Yeah.
Akron. I think Akron. It may have come up with him as well. Tarly knew him too. Nero was somebody that Tarly had looked up to in his time as a soldier in Uldren's Bastion. But Nero was part of the party that originally stopped the onslaught of Mordekash and the rise of Rok'Tulkash. It was here he brought the shard. He was the one person in living history to return from Terenkel.
Goliath buddy we were talking about.
Mhm. The trial you were asking of. There are 6 sigils on Terenkel that are used to weaken the creature and strengthen the anchor. The trial is simple. You must reactivate these, subdue the creature, and reclaim the shard. Part of the promise we made to Nero was that if this were to happen, we would take up our post again, maintaining the anchor of this creature. Many have tried. To this point, all have failed.
And for us to tackle this trial on our own, it's just a matter of signing the waiver and diving in.
There's no waiver. You know the task. You may ascend the steps to the gateway. It will place you somewhere on the island. Yes, the lighthouse.
And if I had to assume, fairly recently, somebody else has ascended these steps.
There was a party of 4 that has attempted this. 2 days ago, they have not yet returned.
2 days ago. Okay.
Just as a recap, there's 6 sigils on the isle. And those sigils, when reactivated, weaken the beast.
That is correct. Sorry, is it 6? 1 sec. I
It
need
is
to check my
6.
notes. 6
I
sounds
was.
good.
I wanted to
6.
make sure it was a clarification point instead of, hey, why
I'll
the
check
fuck
that.
are there 2 people dead or gone?
Well, we're talking about the sigils. Sorry, it
Oh,
is.
sorry, yeah.
It is 4 sigils. Yeah, 4 sigils.
Okay.
Yeah, you are reading your notes correctly. There are 6 members to Vaden's crew. I did not misspeak when I said that 4.
Yeah,
a party
just
of
wanted to make
4
sure.
has ascended
Right.
the step.
Well,
And so,
How
just
do
to
you
follow up
activate-
on that question, just to follow up on that question, if for some reason one of these 4 sigils was to not be there anymore, there is no way the beast can be weakened and the shard can be reclaimed. Is that how that works?
Each sigil weakens the beast to a point. Activating the 4 sigils is recommended to dilute the creature's power. None need be activated to subdue the beast. It is just highly unlikely. It does still prowl the island. It cannot leave, and it pushes against its bounds.
Enough for me.
just to be clear on this, that giant beating heart you have behind you. Not saying that we would, but in theory, if we were to destroy that heart, all it would do is untether the beast from being where it is.
It would
It
kill the
wouldn't
beast
kill it. It would kill the beast.
for a time until it rose again, not in a time of years or days. We don't know. We've seen it in the past. We've heard records of it rising immediately somewhere else in the world. It would wreak destruction until it was stopped again. Killing the beast
I
is not
see.
an option.
Just proclaiming the shard. Okay. And then one last question. What this may or may not be helpful. What does the beast look like?
It looks like. Let me just look at a picture of this thing.
A chicken.
A giant
It is
chicken
a-
with a toothy grin.
A towering creature. The size of a small castle. City, even. It has a spiked carapace, stands on 2 legs. And a great maw. It is a primordial creature. I do know that the name Turan stems from what it was originally called, but its original name has been lost to time.
Y'all, are we fighting Bowser?
Does he have a thing for princesses? Oh, sorry.
No more than he would consume any other being in his path.
I just wanted to clarify something. You said 4 came through before? We are under the impression there was 6.
There was a group of 6, but 2 of them did not see fit to attempt the trial. And have stayed behind.
Stayed behind in the city? Do you know?
Indeed. To my knowledge, they have not left. But as long as you cause no trouble, as you are, visitors are free to roam. What is that? What am I missing?
Sorry.
Yeah.
As you're
Actually,
describing-
surprisingly, you're not difficult. I'll you're not far off.
Yeah.
Don't worry, stream. Don't worry. You're not missing anything at all. It's
Can
fine.
we post that in the chat? Is there any way to post that in the stream? chat?
No.
We can put it. Do you want to post that in our Discord?
Yeah.
Easy to spell out of context.
Yep.
Yeah, we can do that.
There we go.
And then, do we have a exclamation point Discord set up?
I don't think so.
Probably, maybe. There's a link. There's a link below
No, we
to our
don't.
Discord. There was. I don't know if there still is.
No, there's not. So we'll have
Add
to
it to the list.
fix that.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, well, when we have it, hit the link below. If you're watching our VOD, hopefully hit the link below.
Yeah, it's probably there.
Do you know who these 2 were? Where we can find them? Who might know where we can find them?
The entire crew was hooded and shadowed.
Hmm.
The only one who gave his name was Vaden.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he's one of the ones that ascended, yeah?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, it tracks. Okay. Well, should we convene? I'll look to the
Let's
other 3.
talk about this for a minute just before we head through. But I'm not sure. We'll talk about it.
Indeed,
Thank you for the information, First Spear.
of course. Shard Seekers.
That boy.
Mosey on out.
What?
Eater on out of here.
So,
Back down the steps
Thoughts?
onto the street.
so one thought, I don't want to die. 2,
Yeah.
we have a very expensive ship that we're leaving behind.
Yeah.
Doesn't have an autopilot on it? Can't
It
we send
does,
home?
but I mean, we could send it to. We still have communication with it for now. I just don't know if I put enough spell power into it to have it make its way out.
Oh yeah, speaking of
I mean-
communicating with it, which one of you attuned to the ship to be able to communicate
Dave.
with it from a
Okay.
distance? Okay,
It's me.
David did.
God damn it! Every time. Anyway.
Boys of Parenthood.
So I guess our choices are. I mean, I could communicate with the ship and have it attempt to dock to where I could maybe pump some spells into it and then get it to where it can, or maybe being here, it could just accumulate some ambient power, save it, and then send itself about.
I'm gonna throw this out here because if it's not coming up because it technically lies outside the constraints of the item, Orelton, the cube of holding, would be able to hold the ship.
If it's already occupied, is
wouldn't.
it still okay?
You'd have to exchange it, but we can expand its capacity for the ship, if that
Okay.
helps. Just so you have that as an option.
I will present that option.
We could do that. I mean, that'd be nice for an escape. I also have the opportunity to take us wherever it is that we need to go
None-
within
I don't
reason.
think I don't think us is the issue, though, right? The ship's the issue.
Wait, on. Hold on. Right, the ship. But like, if we had the ship, if we could get the ship here, we could use your cube potentially for other things. But if we could get the ship here, we could have an autopilot back to one of the cities. I have a teleportation scroll to. Well, not teleportation scroll, but
The rune's for.
the runes for, and we could just go to where it is, so we don't have to worry about it. The only thing we'd have to potentially worry about is it getting there.
Getting there. So I tell you what, I have somebody I need to talk to before we head up. If we head up. Why don't if nobody's got something to do, somebody go back and check on the ship, see how much juice it's got in it. If it's got enough juice, we can send it at least back to the prime material plane. If it's got enough juice, all the way back to a city like Bauer was saying. And if not, we'll go the cube route, I guess.
I could give it enough juice, but we'd have to wait one more day before leaving if that's what we're going to do.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that. I've got some chatting I need to do anyway.
I was going to say I could also help provide some, but would want to sleep.
Yeah.
Why don't
Let's,
I go with Bauer then? And
Czar could probably pump some juice into it too. Powerful wizard and all that.
Of course, I can power it by myself. You guys don't need to do anything.
Oh, great. Then we can just go up today then. Then Alder and Bauer don't need to pump anything into it.
Yes, perfect.
Okay, great.
Yeah, let's still plan on a day from now.
are you good to go alone, or
Yeah, I could do it myself.
well, Relton?
Well,
I'd prefer to.
Okay.
You're not planning on checking in with Vaden's guys that were left here, were you?
No, I don't think we could find them. First Spear didn't know what they looked like, where they went. That's as
Right.
dead of an end as
Okay.
I can think of.
Oh.
Although, if we stumble across them, it's only two. of
I
them.
worry about the implications of getting into any sort of altercation here.
Right, don't get caught.
And that was
Loud and clear.
very intelligent sounding of me when. Anyway.
I won't get caught. Easy enough.
Okay. Well, we'll start heading up to the ship then. Meeting back at the tavern.
Yeah, back at the anemone.
Don't let your
Alright.
life, kid.
I'll see you there.
All right. So just for clarity, who's going where?
I think the three of us are going to the ship, and O'Relton's going elsewhere.
Okay.
I'm going
Um,
somewhere dark and quiet.
Okay. Getting back to the ship won't be too difficult. So what we're gonna do is, Orelton, you kind of search around for a bit until you find, like, underneath one of the streets. These aren't like the paving on these has collapsed a long time ago, unnecessary due to the aquatic environment. But underneath a building, there's this kind of crevice that opens into a large grotto. The only lights are that of bioluminescent fish and algae, kind of in cracks and corners. You kind of alight on a large flat stone. It's kind of a little inner city sanctum.
As I touch down lightly on the rock, I'll crisscross applesauce it and sit on the stone and just kind of think to myself, or to whoever might be listening, I don't really know how to do this since I changed, but hopefully you can still hear me, and I will just close my eyes and concentrate on talking to List.
Your connection to List has been stretched so thin since your own resurrection, reincarnation. And where for a while you were able to almost converse freely with her. Now in this meditation, you get almost just a soft echo, an acknowledgement that she can hear you, as faint as it is.
So then I will try to communicate rather than through words, just through the concept of the ideas. And the first concept that I'll send her direction is the idea of not defeating the beast and taking the shard from it, but destroying the 4 runes on Tarankel and basically doing what I can to bolster the beast and make it the protector of that piece of the spear.
Okay. Make a religion check for me.
I think I would be good at these. Oh, I'm decent at these. Natural 20 for a 24.
Natural 20. You get a sense, almost images flashing through your mind, of a tremendous, almost lizard-like creature. An image of what you might be fighting. In its chest is open, and a black shard reigns in it, and at its feet, the smoldering ruins of a city. You get the sense of just destroying the runes would protect the shard, but it would unleash this on the world as the anchor, what anchors it to the island as well, would be weakened.
I will communicate back and ask if there is anything she knows of that might strengthen the beast's hold on where it is without releasing it onto the world.
I'm gonna roll because you got a 24. I'm not gonna make you re-rolls roll, and all of a sudden you're less connected with your god. You get images of a wrecked ship on rocks and sand that is degrading from time. And images flash through your head of a 5th rune, one that looks incomplete, or a 5th sigil, that if completed, would both strengthen the creature, or the anchor to the creature, but it would also give another opportunity to weaken it further. So,
Pros and cons there.
the pros and
And
cons.
the last thing I'll try to communicate to her or request from her is whether she wants the shards gathered to a place she know will be secret, or defended in a place that will be harder to get to but known, if that makes sense. Guidance, I guess. What does she want from me?
You get a sense of her not knowing. She doesn't know what the best option is, but you get the firm kind of emotional push of she trusts you as her champion. And you feel the connection kind of fade. She's clearly weakened from what it went into rebuilding you.
I will let the connection fade. She's obviously tired, and I will stay there for probably another 20 minutes or so and just meditate.
On your way out to the ship. It was not far away, so making it to the outskirts of the city. You reach the edge of the wall of water, and then there's a short distance between the wall and then the dunes where you can kind of make out where you've hidden the ship. What are the three of you doing?
Do you
I'm gonna put my
remember?
boots on.
Do you remember how you reacted when you came out, Kaya?
What do you mean?
You went in, you talked to the guy, and then you came back out after taking the stone.
Right, and I couldn't breathe. Yeah, I've thought about that. That's why I wanted to try to summon it to us. Worst case, I can try to shape water around my head.
Okay. Getting this close, give me an Arcana check.
Oh, yeah, because I'm great in those.
Or actually, no,
go dice.
with you, you're a sorcerer. Give me your spellcasting ability, like not attack roll, just it'll be a charisma check.
Okay, well, I mean, I'll
Your
leave it on that.
Your spellcasting
6.
ability modifier. No, reroll. That's a.
No. I rolled the 6. It's fine.
I was gonna say you got a
'Cause
bad.
I
was gonna say
haven't
you got a bad
fucking
Arcana
done-
check, but
So my modifier is +5, so 11.
okay. Okay, that works. 10 was gonna be the DC on this. You form a shuddering connection to the ship as it turns back on, and you see the mast kind of raise above the surface of the dune, and it just begins to slowly pull towards you. It has
Hey,
only
I'm gonna
been
get it.
a day since putting it in standby, so it does make it all the way like to the edge of the water, to the point that yard arm pokes in above your head, entering the water.
I'm gonna try to do a shape water to where I can get to the stone, touch the stone, and then I'm essentially going to put in 20 spell slots.
Okay.
Sorry, how many?
20.
Thrums to life.
Does it explode?
20 is the exact amount of maximum spell slots that can be pumped into this.
Okay. Well.
Full power achieved. Directive, Captain.
We probably should have talked about where we wanted it to go. So I guess
Send it back to the dock of where we came from.
the closest place. Where would be closest? Because I don't have the map, or Relton does, so I'm gonna have to go off memory. I'm thinking it was the. Where did we just come from?
That would have been Waste and Hell. Or no, you
No, it was Wraith and
stopped.
Care.
Yeah,
Wraith and
Wraith and Care.
I would assume it was Wraith and Care, unless there's something closer.
That's the only place that we know which direction to head it in.
Reminder, Captain. Navigation systems still not functioning, as we appear to be on a different plane of existence.
The question would be is if I sent it. Ship,
What
would
if you
you know
send it
if you
to the
followed
top
the
of the
same path?
lighthouse?
Let's hold here for just a minute, Ship, and maybe we'll go to the lighthouse. Talk to somebody there.
Standing by.
Well, didn't they say that if you go to the top of the lighthouse, then you're back at the island?
Is that
Did not hear
That's
that.
The top of the lighthouse is the gate. Ascend to the steps and pass through the gateway back to the prime material.
do you think the gateway would be big enough for a ship?
Well, we just fly the ship to the top of the lighthouse and land on the lighthouse, right?
Not really, no.
I guess maybe we do have to bring it with us. The only thought I had outside of that is send it west, the direction we came from, and
That's what I
hope
was thinking.
hope it goes through.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm just gonna throw this out there. You guys pass through like a rift in space, or like a planar rift. If you send it going west, it will just become a spelljammer ship as it flies away. Like, you are on a different plane.
We also threw the apple
Yeah, you guys
and
did
it didn't go
test.
back, so
It didn't go back. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. All right, let's
Orelton's sitting on a rock, fondling his not fondling, but looking at his cube of holding, just turning it over and turning it over.
maybe we take it to the top of the lighthouse, or maybe we probably should have talked to somebody about getting the ship out of here. I'd like to just try to send it through the portal through the top of the lighthouse, but it would.
Problem is,
all right.
we need to go at the same time and probably on the ship if we're going to go through the portal, because she said it takes us to a random spot.
True. Okay, we'll leave it here. Maybe we just take the ship through, and then if shit hits the fan, we send it back, and we just teleport out.
I think that's our only option.
Ship. If set contingency plan for these specific parameters. Never mind. I'm not smart enough to send this out anyway, because I'm going to mess something up and you're going to do something stupid. So stay here. We'll come back.
Acknowledged. It settles in.
All right. Let's head back. We'll set up a contingency plan when we get through.
Okay.
Let's head back to the inn and wait for Orelton.
All right. How long are they waiting around?
I just sit there on that rock for probably about 20 minutes and then hop up and head back to the anemone.
Okay. Back to the friendly anemone. We'll reconvene the party here. Back
So,
together.
you talked about a box. I think that's our only option.
Yeah. Okay.
It's got
I'll
enough.
go pick it up then.
Yeah, it's got enough power in it that we shouldn't have to worry about anything, at least while we're here. So,
Just couldn't fly it home, huh?
well, we kind of thought about it. I mean, we did the whole Apple test, and Apple was still there, and so
Okay. Well, I can go get it then.
Does it have reserves? Do you remember? Like, I could give it more than just the max that you provided it?
I honestly didn't even know what the max was. I just pumped in
Everything you had?
not everything that I had, no,
There's a
but
bright
a fair amount.
pulse of light originating from the center of the city. It just kind of washes over a couple of the townsfolk go. Someone lit the first sigil. And begin speaking to each other.
Shit. Well, maybe we're
How
hurrying.
many, how many days ago did they say they went through?
2.
2 days ago?
And it's one
One's-
sigil.
But I mean, if they're, I don't know how
if
they're
they've
set up. Are they
gotten-
10 feet from each other?
Yeah. We don't. We would assume they're on different parts of the island, but we don't know. Maybe that's something actually we look for, is if
Probably
they
a
have
good idea.
information onto where the sigils are.
And I mean, if not, maybe it's a good thing we're bringing the ship, huh?
True.
Yeah, let's go get it. And we'll pass out for the rest of the day and head up first thing in the morning.
Yeah, I say we go to sleep as soon as possible and get an early start.
Okay, Bauer, you want to come with me? Let's go get the ship.
Yeah, wherever we can pop out at, I can bring it to.
Okay.
Or we could head up in the middle of the night and be sneaky.
I'm down to party whenever. It's Bauer that's just pumped a shit ton of magic into the ship.
Yeah, let's just
I
make
mean,
sure
Maybe
he's
we let
okay.
him sleep. Yeah. We'll go up as soon as Bauer's feeling better.
Okay. It is still pretty early in the day. You guys woke up and started getting to business. Running back to the ship, it's in the same spot. You can see the yard arm of the ship poking through the water.
O'Relton pulls out the cube holding off of the chain that he wears around his neck, and he runs his hand over the back of it, and the long shard of change pops out of it, and then he'll take it off of his neck and hold it to the edge of the ship.
Wait. Why don't you put the shard? Never mind. That's a bad idea.
Yeah. Shard is here, or shard is here.
Yeah.
And I'll hold the cube to the side of the ship and say the command word.
Okay. And it. What is the command word? Or do you whisper it so nobody can hear?
I like Bauer. Well, actually, I will look around first.
Give me a perception check at disadvantage.
When I see Bauer looking around, I'm gonna look around. Or Bauer.
Relton.
O'Relton.
It's 8.
Okay.
And I am assuming I have disadvantage as well.
Yeah.
10.
10. I should ask, unless either of you have the ability to see invisible creatures, whether that be blind sight or true sight.
Not currently.
Okay. So what's that command word?
Geheimnis.
Kindness. I'm going to pretend that I wrote that down, and if I ask again, it's because
I didn't write it down.
I didn't write it down. Okay. The
I
ship
assume.
like folds in on itself, that kind of weird dimensional shifting as you watch the sides like roll in, and it just folds in to the side where the side of the cube goes and just snaps shut. The ship is gone.
And I
gives like a little chill. Ever get the feeling you're being watched?
No, why? I'll look behind me again.
No.
There's a weird like moment where you feel like time just skips for a second, and Bauer next to you, there's just like a pocket of sand that's been glassed.
Instead of Bauer?
Instead of Bauer, there's just like a little piece of sand just smoking underwater.
And then we popped out back to this time.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. That was quick and easy.
All right. Let's get back. What do we want to do with it?
Well, I'm going to hold on to it. And if anybody tries to take it, I'm going to beat the hell out of them. That's my game plan.
All right.
Relton, as you're holding the shard, because it's the shard of change, yes?
Yeah.
You feel almost a vibration as it's, for the first time in a while, like coming close to the shard that has kind of become part of your back.
Mm-hmm.
And you get the sense that if you were to will it, it would change its form.
Great, because I was going to do that tonight.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna use the shard that's part of me to try and change it. This is the shard of creation,
Yeah.
but I don't yet.
Okay, I was gonna say it will not. That will not be necessary.
Okay.
You realize that you could, kind of focusing back on when the shard became liquid and infused itself as part of you. You could wrap it around the toothy gauntlet that you've created. You could wrap it around that and kind of infuse it into your gauntlet.
We'll have. He'll just like get this goofy smile on his face for a second as he envisions the possibility.
Are you feeling okay? What's wrong with your face?
Have you been following us this whole time? How did you get here? You are sneaky.
I thought you said you'd gone back to the tavern.
I thought we were just walking back.
Well then, yes,
Ye-
I love the idea of me just popping up.
Yep. Gabi, give me a perception check with disadvantage, unless you can see invisible creatures.
Okay. Perception at disadvantage. That's a nat 20 plus 2.
At disadvantage, you rolled
At
two nat 20s.
disadvantage, I rolled 2 20s.
That's
Jesus.
you. Like in the distance behind it, there is a shifting in the you. It's not that you actually see this person. You note an absence of water and an approximate person-sized shape about 60 feet back from these two. And what caused it is as they stopped to speak with you, this figure stopped. This shape.
I know danger when I see one.
That's why you thought you were being watched, Bauer.
Well, I haven't.
Zara was here the entire time.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was me. There's nothing else out there.
And then I'm gonna, like, try and, like, reach up and put my arm around somebody's shoulders and pull them down.
There's somebody behind us.
Trying to be
They're gonna
sneaky
nibble
about
on my
myself.
ear like that. The
Yeah,
fuck?
that was weird.
Gonna keep walking.
Alright.
I guess I'm gonna try to get tabs on whatever it is nonchalantly. Try to figure out where it is.
Okay.
And then when I feel like I can, no, I take that back. I'm going to use subtle spell.
Okay.
And yeah, a subtle spell, and I'm going to message. Yeah, I'm gonna message O'Relton and tell him that Czar says somebody's following us.
It's like that moment when you're sitting in the same room with somebody and they text you, and you're
Yeah.
like, "Why'd you text me?"
Yeah.
I will not be
Well,
subtle, and I'll turn around.
Okay. You're welcome to give me another perception check at disadvantage.
15 for the first, and a nat 1 for the second.
With a 15. Oh no, with it. Sorry, nat 1. Because disadvantage, not advantage.
Oh, plankton in
Nothing.
my eye. Ugh.
Well, I'll see you guys back at the bar.
And with
And I'm going to take my cloak and disappear into a wall so that I
Okay,
can
I was
get
gonna say,
behind
Zara-
him.
with like, do you look back at where that figure was that Arel just tried to take a glance at?
Once I try and get kind of hidden, yes.
Okay. It's you disappear into the wall, and you come out and look around, and even if we roll on it, nothing. Whoever it was is gone.
I'm gonna sneak up behind them. It's gone.
Ugh.
Jesus.
Okay.
But there was definitely somebody following you.
Well, I mean, what do we do?
I mean, I don't know what information they could have possibly gathered off of that. Definitely nothing useful. So I think we're probably fine.
Yeah, everything's hunky dory. We just definitely didn't talk. Anyway,
I mean, we popped a ship into a cube. That's it, right?
yeah. I was
Better
gonna
make
leave it
sure
at
they don't
that,
want to
just
steal
to-
anything.
Okay. You get back to the tavern. Alder, were you doing anything?
I would have just found some time to be in a place by myself and just kind of look at that fruit again and see if there's any notable changes with the current state of where we're at.
You're holding the fruit and kind of examining it. Nothing. You kind of go to put it away. You hear, I offer power.
Kind of look around.
Nothing around.
Look back at the fruit.
Nothing.
Put it away, but kind of sit there and think about that for a while until they get back.
Okay. And then they get back a little while later.
We ready?
Is Alder wearing anything on his back? A cloak, a cape, a oversized scarf?
No, just his bag whenever we're out and about.
O'Relton will reach in his backpack and pull out a cape. Say, I don't know if might be something that you can use, Alder, but I ain't using it anymore.
What is it?
I'll hand you it's a large red cape with a hood that comes over the top of it, and it's got like 2 gold swoopies that come down on the front part of the cape. This is a cape of the mountebank.
I mean, sure, I guess I could wear it. Anything? I'll take a look at it and I guess become familiar with it if he's not sharing
Yeah.
what it does or anything. So,
No,
Yeah. Cape of the mountebank.
I'll remove that from my inventory.
does
We'll
it
say-
smell underwater?
Does it smell underwater?
Yeah.
A bit of a faint
Oh.
tinge. But nothing crazy. It's very faint. 'Cause
Yeah.
It also hasn't been used recently.
Okay. All right. Well, we getting some rest and then heading out.
Yeah, I'd love to get going earlier, but I feel like we're gonna need all the spells we can get.
Yeah, we definitely want to be at 100% for this.
So, I mean, what time is it now? Afternoon, early afternoon, late afternoon?
You guys are probably only to like mid-afternoon, so 8 hours will put you at, between 8 and 10 o'clock at night. Like, you can rest up and be ready by this night, if you'd
Well,
like.
here's the question then. Do we want to go in tonight, or do we want to wait till later tonight? Do we want to go at the start of the night?
You know, I'm
We
all
wanna go
for
in the morning.
having the advantage of surprise, but it's kind of hard to see in the dark, isn't it?
Yeah, especially if we're going to be on a ship.
Yeah,
Or fighting in
hard
general.
for them to see us in the dark.
Hard for me to see them too.
I feel like they'd be able to see us a little bit. I don't know if it our ship has like a stealth mode, but I'm sure there's some glowing runes that wouldn't be that hard to spot in the sky, even if we were flying low.
I mean,
I think.
I can help a little bit with the dark, but it's going to take a little bit of my abilities away.
Maybe we take this time to prepare if we need to. Maybe they have. Maybe we go figure out if we can find where the sigils are. Maybe we look at some supplies that they have special to here, or just supplies in general. Because this does not seem like a task that is going to be very quick. I mean, they left 2 days ago, and then they only have one sigil down. So, and I can't imagine the other sigil will take them at least a couple hours from now. Could be wrong, but
So you're saying supply up, and then we'll go up at first light.
that's what I'm thinking. Unless anybody else really wants to go tonight. You're going blind, literally.
A lot easier to hit shit if I can see it. So I'm with
Right.
you, Bauer.
Well, then I'm gonna go see if I can't find some information on where these sigils are.
Okay. Where are you heading to do that?
Well, the only place I could fathom to think could be back to the lighthouse and see if I can maybe talk to somebody there.
Going through the town, the first spear is still there. I know not the last locations of each of the sigils. I know approximate one in each corner of the island.
Perfect. That at
Actual-
least gives us direction.
The exact locations and a map would be kept by the librarians if you wish to deal with them.
Okay. Well, then thank you for the help there. I will go and see if I can't find myself a map.
Good luck.
Thanks. In the back of his head, he's already got this sense of dread of like, oh boy. Gonna head to the library. I don't know what everybody else is doing, if they all came with or. Okay.
Anybody doing anything in particular that they'd like to?
I was just gonna kind of shoot the shit with a random person and just be
Okay.
like, kind of ask about the light that shone across the sky and how often that has ever happened.
I've never seen it before. I've been here a dozen years or so. It's like a half elf who, or not a half elf, a halfling who their ears are actually kind of becoming like finned.
That's what I wondered.
Like they're beginning to like partially shift into an more aquatic race. I've heard of it though. That's supposedly if the light flashes, that means one of the sigils has been set. Somebody has partially completed the trial.
Oh, wow. Do you worry if anybody completes it?
I mean, that's the quelling spears are here to maintain the safety of the city, which is what's really more exciting. I mean, somebody's on some epic quest, treasures and trials.
What would that be
One
like?
can dream, right?
Yeah.
Do you need anything else? Can I?
Oh,
Excuse
yeah.
me.
Sorry.
He,
Sorry.
like, awkwardly, like steps aside, like or swims to the side. Continues on. Gabby, are you doing anything? Sorry, wizard. It's my bad.
I'm just gonna see how many of these juice boxes I can get and just continue to go around squirting little bits and like an astronaut.
Okay.
I'm fucking Pac-Man.
Each one of them costs a silver, so as many as you want.
All right. I'm gonna put a whole bunch of them in my bag.
Okay.
Ours just the
It's not
honor
have
crushing
blood bags
brewskis.
in there.
Yeah. Great. Kai, you eventually get to the library, which library is, a big, beautiful building. But when you walk in, you realize that there's shelves, but they extend down, not up. the floor opens up, and there's a number of merfolk going, putting away these sealed tomes. There's a number of different methods of having written down, anything so that it could survive underwater. A sense of some sort of magical preservation in play too. One of them swims up. Oh, good afternoon, sir. How may I help you?
Afternoon. Well, I imagine you probably don't hear this too often, but do you have a map of Carentel, specifically on where the sigils are?
Oh, you're a shard seeker. I do have a very basic map of the island itself, but it won't give you any information, just approximate shape. If you wanted more than that, you'd have to speak to the librarians.
Yeah, I mean, a basic map, but yeah, the librarians, whoever they are, I'd love to talk to them.
It looks down, and you, following their gaze in the center of, where this all kind of comes to a point, there's, a crack in the stone. And a dull aquamarine light glowing from underneath it. You're welcome to try. Or I do have the basic map for you if you just need to know the shape of the coastline.
Well, I mean, yes, I'd like that, but another question. The librarians, people that go down there, do they come back?
Almost always, of course.
I'm sorry, you said almost?
Librarians have been here since before the city was moved from the prime material. They are beings beyond description. They do love to haggle.
Okay. Well, thanks.
Nods. They swim away and they come back and hand you a very basic map. Again, it just has outline of the coast. There's approximate, it points out that there's a few different it's all very rocky and deserty on the island, but there's an actual dune that runs through the middle and some very generic markings, but
I'll put that in my bag.
they very quickly are giving everybody there has kind of heard that you might go speak with librarians and is just kind of keeping their distance from you, not making eye contact.
Okay.
You're muted, Will. I don't know if you said something, but
I'm quietly egging David on.
I'm gonna go ahead and go down where the librarians are.
okay. You're swimming down and descending. It is, again, not like a structure. It is just a crack in the ground. You kind of descend, and it opens up a little bit, but it's cramped. And down there's some sort of crustacean that comes out of a hole in the wall and scares over your shoulder into a hole on the opposite wall.
Ah, another one has come into the depths. What seek thee? I'll leave them alone. You're going to scare the young thing. Look at him. He's already gone purple with fright. Oh, you two are insufferable. What do you seek?
Hello, and I appreciate you greeting me, and I appreciate your time. To not waste it.
Sweet words from a sweeter face. Shut up. He's too young for you. He's too young for either of you. Hear him out. Stop interrupting. Let's hear what he wants.
not waste any more of your time. I'm here seeking a map to the sigils on Turnkel.
Shard Seeker, it's obvious. Shut up! I said to stop leaving. Stop interrupting. What do you have to try?
Do I see them at all?
Make a perception check.
I'm so great at these anyway. I'm not sure I want to be great at it. 6.
No,
The
that's you
fuck?
keep every time a voice. They seem to be like moving around you, swirling and spinning, and you keep catching like glimpses of like maybe a face kind of behind one of the holes in the wall next to you as you kind of continue to swim down. It's continued to widen out. The rest of this room is coming into light again. This dull aquamarine, greenish tinged light that suffuses this cavern, a wide cavern. There's some like stone, not chairs, but like slabs that are laid out. There's a number of trinkets and odds and ends, very like Ariel's treasury from The Little Mermaid, except it's not like shiny brushed silver. It's like fragments of skulls and like broken swords and books. So many books and tomes.
It's a confident man that enters my bedroom. I told you he's too young. Too young. Shut up, both of you. I'm trying to work.
Giving the fates from Hercules.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Exactly.
That's what Mako called out in the chat. So
Oh, all right.
Oh, did she?
Real nice.
Yeah.
Great
y'all
minds.
were too late.
Tell
Damn it.
me, what do you have to trade? A map like that is important, even more important if you're a shard seeker, which I think you are. We establish how clear it is that he's a shard seeker. Is it my turn to tell the two of you to shut up, or can I hit on the pretty purple one again?
Well, your beauty is much too much for me. I couldn't dare lay a hand on you, such a beautiful thing.
Oh, it's clear you have not seen us. Oh, he thinks I'm pretty. I am. I'm the prettiest of the three. If you're so pretty, show him your face. Show him your face. And the two voices start kind of chanting. She goes, no, 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 not unless he wants it.
Yes, of course.
How good of a liar are you?
That's as you're getting that like same circling shadows, you've kind of come to the bottom of this. And she goes, well then turn around, you sweet young thing.
All right.
You do. And the face of the taut, pulled, grayish, silvery skin pulled tight across this humanoid-ish face. Part fish, part human. Long, green, not hair, but strands of kelp. Her broken and just serrated rows of teeth that pulls, bulging eyes. The eyelids are like, the eyes are too small, yet also seem to bulge from the skull of this horrific fishwoman, to the point that as you see her, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom? Not
A
go.
wisdom saving throw
Fucking knew it.
for the sea hag's horrific appearance.
Oh wow.
18
Wow.
for 18.
Okay. You are not frightened.
Way to hold it together.
And you keep your calm as she pulls close. She goes, oh, you do think I'm pretty. It's a lie.
Why wouldn't I think you're pretty?
Lie. Oh, most people don't think we are. Such is our curse. It's not a curse, it's a blessing. Who has time for romance or anything? Yes, we have our books. We have our books to keep us company. A book he wants to take. As the two other members of this coven pull from the cracks and crevices, holes seeming too small to fit their body as they pull out of the stone and begin to circle you slowly, each of them just kind of alternating in their speak. What do you have to trade? What do you have to trade?
Well, I guess there's a couple things that I can have. Things that you're probably not quite used to seeing.
Oh, out with it, out with it, out with it. What do you have? You're taking up so much time. Is it a kiss? It's not a kiss. He doesn't want to kiss your hideous face.
I mean, no, it might make my heart stop.
I do need you to make 2 more wisdom saving throws, by the way, as now
Yeah.
there are 3
Okay, this ain't gonna work out well.
circling you.
Just want
That's
to
an
ask him
11.
get the hell out.
11 meets it, beats it. Give me your third.
2.
Oh boy. Oh
2.
boy.
You become frightened with them circling you. You do not have to run away, but
I am
It
going
is
to
shaking you.
down. I'm gonna look down.
Oh,
To
see, it is your
avoid
face.
contact.
You're the ugly one. You're the one who can look at it, can stand. Look me in the eyes.
How long does the fear last for?
It lasts for a full ass minute.
Apologies. So, what about? And he's going to reach into his bag, first and foremost, a very rare beverage from the top side.
You come to the lair of those who live in water, and you offer us liquid.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check at disadvantage. A combination from being frightened, and you are not in the realm of what they're interested in.
2 15s or 25.
2 15s for a 25. That's pretty good.
But it might be enough to sweeten the deal, sweeten the deal, sweeten the deal.
I promise you, this drink is of nothing you've ever tasted. And I'm sure if you boiled it down, some of it would solidify.
We'll take this and one other thing. Look me in the eyes. Eyes, look her in the eyes. Your drink, and if you survive at the glance, you can have the map you seek. If not, you stay with us.
Remember when they said almost come back? Or almost always come back?
Or do you have more to
What if-
offer? More to offer. Give us
Might
more.
have. You want more? Got more. How about? He's gonna go through his pouch. He's gonna look between 2 different things. He's gonna put one back, and he's gonna pull out a flute that is decorated as if a kraken and this flute, rumor has it, came from a god.
Oh, rumors. Rumors are nothing. Rumors are nothing. Rumors are... But it plays such sweet music, such beautiful music. We'll take the flute and the drink for the map. For one more thing. You make such sweet music with this flute, I'm sure.
Well, it might be
We'll have
hard to
that.
make.
We'll take your music as well.
Might be hard to make music underwater, but I'll give it a shot. Through a wind instrument.
So, the flute, the drink, and your music. Yes?
All right.
Deal.
And the map rolls up in front of you. One hand reaches around and pulls the drink from your hand. One of them reaches and takes the flute, and the other pulls up close to you, forcing you to look in their face as they breathe in. Oh, such sweet music. And they pull away. Unless there's anything else you seek, be on your way.
He's gonna go.
You have a map. You have a map. A map which, if you go, we have the in the campaign or in D&D Beyond, their virtual tabletop. If you remember that map,
Yeah.
I'll just reveal the entirety of the map to you.
Perfect.
You can check that out. I'll share it in our Discord as well. That actually might be
Good.
easier. And here we go. All right, I've got it. I've got it right here. The map of Tarankel, the island, not Queltron, the underwater city. David, what do you do next? What does Kai do next?
I'm gonna get the out of there.
Just so you know, had you taken the option to look them in the eyes and see if you survive, it's a wisdom saving throw, and it's a DC 11 or drop to 0.
Yeah, see, that's what I didn't want to do.
I straight up offered you a 50-50 shot at character death for a map. I want you to know that, like, I'm not pulling punches this campaign.
Yeah, I had assumed it was bad.
I has been
So I was
gone
like,
for a while.
I hope he survived.
Just
How about-
floating around in the library, and all the mermaid attendants are afraid to touch the body because
Oh,
those are
Probably
sea hags.
can't
Their
do
whole
music
thing is
anymore.
that they are ugly and mean about it.
well, got a map. So does this map like describe basically like obviously I can see what's there and I can assume, but does it like somewhat show where the sigils are?
Yes, and it'll be noted in the abandoned city, in the Redstone Mesa, the depths of the Jungle Temple, and somewhere in the Abyssal Crevasse.
And then the one that I don't know about, but
The one that I saw is over on the ship, right?
Yeah.
all right. Well, better get back. And I'm gonna swim out of there like, oh man, those are a great bunch of people.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
Was there
just
anything
talk
else
to
you
them
needed?
sometimes.
No.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, you don't have to try to lie to us.
But
I'm sorry for what you just went through. I'm glad you survived.
yeah, you said almost everyone. I feel like there's less than almost, but you know,
It's mainly because you are, I think, really an attractive person. They tend to not like that as much or too much. I'm not 100% sure. They deal much more strongly with pretty things.
I think that's a compliment and thank you.
You hear echoing from the cavern, "Holy shit, this is delicious."
That was Svetla's drink.
Yeah?
The one that made me pass the fuck out for like a full day.
Okay. That's yeah. That's I mistakenly just assumed that was something that
One of his brews.
yep. About 10 seconds later, floating out, like with our eyes rolled in the back of the head, is just this ugly, horrific. Look, they have the ability is called horrific appearance, which is just if you can see them, you make a wisdom saving throw. Like, there are some screams and people like panicking, and then more so as two other sea hags like spiral out of the water. And you're like, "Thank you again for the drink," and pull her back into the depths. You look back at the attendant who was speaking with you, and there's like a small cloud of vomit in front of them. And they go, just leave,
don't-
please,
Yep.
leave.
Yep.
Just get out.
I'm gone. I thought they were gonna come out pissed. You tried to poison us.
No, we all understand that when we drink, there's a chance that we pass out.
All right. I'm gonna head back to. No, I'm not gonna head back to the tavern just yet. I am going to go check out maybe some specifically looking for things that could be helpful and or oddities that we wouldn't normally see.
Okay, give me an investigation check.
Yep, that's gonna go over well.
This is going to help determine a usefulness. Because there are a number of clearly magical weapons. There are lots of spears and tridents. Very few bows, I don't think, surprisingly. But if you wanted like a harpoon gun, you could totally get that.
Well, I mean, we're gonna be topside. I don't think we're gonna need a harpoon gun.
Use a harpoon gun.
Spears and tridents.
What did you get on your investigation?
13.
13. Let's say there is one. It'd be 100 gold. It's a wondrous item. It would be a set of dowsing rods
Okay.
that the storekeeper says that if you focus on the thing you're finding, it will help direct you.
That seems extremely helpful.
A little ambiguous. Yeah. And they are dowsing rods. That's you'll focus.
It's like the
Auto
the
reaching?
two rods
Yeah.
that come out and they
Yeah.
cross when you're. Okay.
I'm having a little internal giggle that these are dowsing rods and we're underwater because they
Underwater.
were
Yeah.
commonly used to find water.
You just can't uncross them for some reason.
Shit. Don't go anywhere.
Stump. Are you thirsty? The shopkeeper asks you as you're trying to like uncross them.
No, I don't. Maybe I am.
Yeah, I
I
think
don't
you
know.
are, because that's you clearly want water. Just swallow a little bit. Yeah, you just drink a little bit of the water around you, and the rods uncross as you're no longer thirsty. They're a little temperamental. Why is it salty? This is a freshwater environment. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
Stop it.
I have very clearly described a bunch of saltwater like life.
and then yeah, after that you said it was 100 gold.
Yep, 100 gold.
Oh.
100 gold for dowsing rods. And yeah, they will help direct you.
All right. Well, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
I'm gonna head back to the tavern unless I see something out of the ordinary that catches my attention.
Give me a perception check.
Cool.
Rachel, will you give me a high or low?
Low.
18.
18. You catch a glimpse. That's like my third natural one. These new dice that I got might be bad dice.
Keep them.
Label those
you're
ones
kind
your DM dice.
You're going back through this shopping district, and there's a bit of a commotion and you catch it as somebody just like swims into something and like drops a bunch of stuff. Nothing that you saw, but they dump out like this kind of sooty substance that kind of fills the space, and you see very clearly it kind of grabs onto something. You get the outline. It's like when somebody's invisible in a movie and they get paint thrown on them. That kind of begins to swim off rapidly in one direction, and they kind of disappear.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna map that I have, I'm going to first I'm gonna double check it and make sure it's the map that I want. And then I'm gonna put it in my bag, but I'm also going to essentially tie it to my belt.
Okay.
And then yeah. Go from there.
Okay. Back to the
The back.
tavern. Anything else you guys want to talk about? What are you doing tonight? What is the plan? I know you're resting. And then
So I've got a map. I've also got these dowsing rods to maybe help us find the sigils a little easier. Wondrous Sight, you said it was a magical item where I thought about what I wanted. These would help me guide me in the direction that we need to go.
Seems helpful.
And then here's the map. And well, before I show this, there was another one. Invisible and
Another
watching
map?
me. No, another invisible person.
Wait, you had people watching you?
Czar said there was one on the way back from the ship.
Yeah, and then it disappeared.
I
We have
say I
rooms
never
here,
saw
right?
him, but
what was that?
We have rooms here, right?
Yeah.
We just head upstairs real quick.
Yeah.
I'll pile into one of the rooms so Bauer can show us the map.
Okay.
so there's definitely at least the same person or another person following. I would not be surprised if it's part of Vaden's crew.
Makes more sense as to why two of them decided they weren't going in for the shard. Right?
And
They
if
were-
I have to assume, they'd have a way of communicating with Vaden as well.
Or they're here to fuck us over, or both.
Right. Which means tonight we might have to be very careful. Maybe we all stay in the same room and set up watch.
I got one better. Y'all sleep. I've got it handled.
Hold on. From experience, I know staying up all night isn't a great thing.
You're right. It's not. So I'll get rest this way. And I'll pull out of my bag a potion of watchful rest. And I'll
Okay.
pop it open and
Well, I guess that solves that conversation.
Pupils
Right.
have just like
Solid
Good-
black eyes.
Yeah.
Could you stop looking at me? You're freaking me out.
I'm looking at Czar.
Oh,
It's just
God,
my
don't
eyes are all black. You can't tell where I'm looking.
Right. Well, also, so here's the map. I mean, from the looks of it, sigil here, sigil here, sigil here, and sigil here, in these four corners.
I think. And I'll just circle the ship with my finger. I think there's a fifth one here. That's the impression I got earlier today from talking to the lady upstairs.
Well, I guess when we get there, we find out where we're at. It's gonna put us in a random spot, so we're not sure where to start. There's no point in deciding that now. And hopefully there's an indicator of where the one has already been activated.
If we're gonna talk strategy, though, do we want to just take the ship up? My original thought was we send it back over to Wraith and Care, but if we can use it, we might as well, right?
I mean, as long as it's getting recharged, sure.
Well, when it's on the outside and there's ambient, mm, basically energy in the air, it should. It's kind of like me. So I
Right.
don't really get my energy other than just from what's like around me. I'm not sure how it works for you, but
Yeah, no, I understand that. I just don't know if maybe with the transfer, I just don't. I'm down to use the ship though if it works.
I think we'll be okay. But yeah, I guess we'll see. I'd prefer to use the ship.
We'll figure it out when we get there, I guess.
Okay.
Here's the next question. I didn't really get how to put this. Talked to Alter about this, but I don't know if taking the shard is the right option.
What do you mean?
I mean, the goal is to not let them be reassembled, right? And this one's got a bodyguard. Pretty badass bodyguard, if we're being completely honest. But if I'm playing devil's advocate, on the other hand, everybody, well, a lot of people knows where it's at. Right?
Yeah, it's just being able to bait it.
Sure. So I guess the question is do we attempt to go through the trial as per normal, take the shard and fuck off? Or do we leave it in a well-guarded, well-known location? Which is better, secrecy or muscle?
I say we test. I think we test how tough this is. And if it's something that's beyond us, then I mean we just have to leave it, right? But if it's something that we can undo, then I'm almost positive someone else would be able to do it as well.
How many
Well, I don't know.
people?
We're pretty badass.
I mean, how many people do we think are aware of what these shards do? And
Well, all of Night's Watch, that's for one.
The entirety of this city.
What if we beefed up the security on this thing? Like, put traps on the sigils.
That's not nothing. That's a good idea.
I don't agree, but I think with enough time, muscle can be beaten.
well,
I feel like a secret might be better.
the sigils aren't required either. It just makes it easier.
True.
But
How about this? If we're looking to see how badass this security system is, we've got people up there testing it right now. Let's see how well they do. If they get to the end of it, clearly it needs a better form of security. We finish off what is hopefully a weakened Vaden's team. We finish off what is hopefully a weakened Beast. We take what we came for, and then we fuck off to a more secure location. And if they can't beat it, great. We kill Vaden. We move on.
play the cards that are dealt.
So the only
Yeah.
thing that I worry about in that situation is, what if Vaden comes in control of this shard?
No, that's what we're here for. Make sure that doesn't happen.
Right, but Vaden, if we wait till he is able to beat this thing, if he even can, at that point he will have the shard. Or maybe this thing doesn't even have to be beaten to get the shard. We don't
Well, you have to
don't
rip it.
know.
You have to rip it out of its chest.
I mean,
All I'm saying is let's watch him from a distance, and if he starts getting close, we'll
I'll
step
agree
in.
with that. Maybe we yeah. I mean, there's no wrong well, I mean, there's plenty of wrong answers, but nobody knows the right. So, I mean, I can't say that it's what we're doing is the wrong side. I do feel like secrecy's better than muscle, but I mean, if we can't get it away from the muscle, then there's not much
Doesn't
we can
matter.
do. All right. Well, you said there's another sigil here. I wonder if there's a way we could maybe potentially reactivate the sigil as if he were like while they're trying to get the shard. Maybe say they do deactivate all four. Is there a way we could just reactivate the sigil?
Reset their work.
I don't think
In
it's going to reset
mid-fight,
everything.
Getting it stronger, maybe.
I think that's the best we'd get out of it, right? It's not going to, reset the beast to full
No.
power, but it would give them a boost that they didn't know was coming.
Right.
However, it is, if I'm understanding correctly, it's all the way across the island.
True.
So that would be one of us that's not in the fight.
I mean, we could get there pretty quick with the ship, but
Not in minutes. I don't think.
maybe we'd have to see how big the island is.
I was actually
I'm
just,
sure we could.
I was just gonna ask Andrew, does the map
No.
have any sort of like distance indicator on it or anything like that?
So yeah, on foot, each of these squares would take 2 hours to traverse.
Okay. So about a day's travel to each one.
Yeah.
And if we have the ship, assuming the ship works, that's the other thing we're assuming right now is the ship is even going to work. That, I mean, we could at the very least cut that time into a quarter. But I mean, that's still 4 hours between sigils. 2 hours to the center, assuming it's a perfect circle. Or square.
Roughly.
But I don't know.
I think the best bet for that fifth sigil is if we find ourselves face to face with a beast in No Vaden's team, maybe we take a break, knock out a fifth sigil, and come back and make that cleanup a little bit easier.
Who knows? Maybe we run into Vaden on our way through before.
One can only hope.
Well, we're not going to know much by sitting here, but I mean, at this point, it's going to come down to a last minute decision on what happens.
But
So,
we got plans now, so it's
We
better
have
to
to-
yeah,
have
we
none
at
of
least
them.
have a direction.
We have to agree though that if things go south, we get over out now. As fast as possible.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Or throw me back in lava, one or the other.
We
That reminds
can't-
me.
that-
And I'll take out the shard of change.
Mhm.
I'll just hold the end of it towards me and start pushing it into my palm and will it to reform.
Yeah, and it is just liquefying against your hand as it essentially becomes part of the bracer. It's not, this one is not attached to your skin in the same way because it's just
Mhm.
changing its form. So you've got your bracers or your gauntlets that you've been working on, and it just kind of forms over those. The teeth that you've been working into them kind of become extended black crystal jagged spikes.
Do they form over both fists or just over one?
Just over the one. That's it. And effectively does the same thing. Like it doesn't change how the gauntlet works, but that's just becomes
Just to
a
be
big
steady.
crystalline gauntlet, which you can still like pull off and put back on.
Dope.
Well, yeah, we definitely can't let them.
And not bad, huh?
That's so pretty. I
The
want
only thing
it.
that worries me is
Come and take it.
you know how to. So,
Sorry, Bauer, I was fighting Czar. What were we talking about?
no. I said the only thing that worries me now is that you have two. Which, I mean, I'm not complaining. And just, if things go really wrong, they end up with three.
Plus whatever he's already got.
While this conversation's been going on, I would like to have been like snooping around the room, seeing if there's any like sneaky holes or anything like people could be peeping in or
Could
listening
be.
in.
Perception or investigation.
Okay, they are.
I unfortunately don't
We're
have
gonna do
anything-
perception. That's a 13.
13. No peepee holes, no. Nothing. That's it seems relatively secure. There is a large window, which the fact that you're on like the 3rd floor doesn't really matter on where it's all underwater because you can just swim up to it.
Do we have curtains?
There's
Blinds? or
yeah,
something?
there's like weighted bead curtains that you can like pull into place, but like because like normal cloth curtains would just kind of like drift up.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have like weighted shell bead curtains that you can like kind of arrange into place. They don't do a little bit of privacy.
I just want people to read lips.
Well, one pro for us is that one of these things, even if it goes real tits up, kind of hard to remove. You have to put some work into that one.
Well, as long as we have that exit plan.
I'll take an evac if you give me one.
Right. I'm gonna lay down and go to sleep.
Settle in for the night.
I will not.
Orelton is going to keep watch. Under your watchful gaze, the night goes by uneventful. On the outside, Alder, as you drift to sleep, you awaken in a clearing, and before you open your eyes, you feel like grass and dirt underneath your hands to either side. You breathe in, and you catch just a sweet scent. Almost sickeningly so. You open your eyes and you realize you're beneath the boughs of a giant black willow tree that is decayed. Its roots have woven up along its trunk. And as you sit, 2 bright yellow eyes flash from inside these woven roots. It has taken me so long to reach you, child.
Who are you?
I am just a natural part of all things. I'm the blight you carry so close to your heart. Some call me Erduin's son. Durin's, sorry, mixing shit up. Durin's son.
What do you want with me?
I want to give you what you seek. Why have you carried the fruit with you so long?
I'm the cure.
Sure. The cure, traveling with your group, you know the root of the issue. Kind of a blotted skeletal face pulls through the skin like tight leather. Sunken eyes that glow yellow with that revenant light. I could give you so much more.
Same thing you did to my grandfather?
He was weak, and you are strong. He sought not the blight, he sought immortality. To delay the natural end of all things. To break the circle. It consumed him.
What power are you talking about?
The power of blight.
The acceptance of death. To control it, to wield it as your own. I can see in your eyes and heart that you want to think me evil, but I am no more evil than the lion that consumes its prey. The mushrooms that grow on the fetid meat of the corpse and reclaim it, the grass that grows, the tree who delves its roots into the ground of long dead things.
And what would come of my grove? I can't
You could teach
let that continue
them.
to die.
You could teach them this power. Your friends can take the shard they seek, and you can lead your circle to new heights or depths. This is a gift, and I think it would serve you well in what you pursue. But it is also a choice.
And how does one make that choice?
Consume. Embrace. We will speak again. He just fades back onto the tree, but the dream does not yet end.
I'll probably observe the tree and the fruits around and the blighted area.
You kind of look and watch. Time begins to lapse. Sun rises and sets rapidly and rapidly. The tree begins to break down into just, as a tree does, it rots into the ground. The blight fades over time as the mushrooms and grass begin to grow. Animals come and consume it. Insects, start breaking down the tree as birds land. Animals begin hunting the birds, and soon as that time lapse begins to slow back down, you're in the same grove, but a new tree is beginning to grow. There are deer and elk that move alongside you. The grass is lush beneath your feet, and you realize that it is a cycle. Blight is not eternal.
As that's kind of going through, I just want to kind of reach down and touch the grass and just, I guess, kind of try to control the dream a little bit.
Okay, give me an intelligence check. Or wisdom. Either or. I think wisdom would be.
A dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Dirty.
What are you trying to do?
The green grass that's growing, I want to see if I can cause it to turn black. And as
Easily, it
okay.
ripples a little bit into a 5-foot space around you.
And then I want to see if I can reverse that.
You go to reverse, and nothing really happens. The blight doesn't reverse, but you push harder, and the blight accelerates until it breaks down. And feeling the dirt, you feel that it is become even more like nutritious,
Fertile?
fertile. As you've broken down the grass, and you focus again, and almost druid crafting, grass begins to grow healthier, more vibrant, stronger.
I'll just kind of observe that timeline and sit and think.
Okay. Kai, while you sleep, you haven't had time to really process what happened with Isaac. And so when you kind of wake up in your dream and he's sitting across from you, doesn't say anything.
Right.
He's just sitting on like a chair. What's built around you is a quiet, dimly lit tavern. And it's just the two of you. A table between. He's kind of holding a tankard in his hand.
Why are you here?
Unfinished business. I guess. Not the way I thought it was going to go.
No, it didn't have to be like that.
Guess we all make choices, huh? Takes a sip. This what you imagine it tastes like?
No. More like this. I'm gonna reach into the air and grab.
Yeah. Pull very back in Artos with the father when he was just pulling drinks from thin air. You manifest.
And it is going to be the secret brew.
Takes a
Try
sip.
this.
Ah, damn, that's good. For a long time, food and drink had no taste to me. Just ashes in my mouth, dust.
Like, you know what happened with Dad, right? It wasn't intentional. I wanted it to stop. And I guess I willed it into existence that I wanted him to stop so bad.
Yeah,
I was gonna die. At least I thought I was.
you might have.
And then
I've seen. They've been trying to make it clear to me since I died. Time for retrospection. It doesn't
okay.
change much. Not with what happened. But I'm told eventually I might be able to forgive you. And after a longer time still, maybe myself. They said a few centuries in the hells will do that to someone.
Honestly surprised you're even here. With making a pact and all.
I never made a pact. Well, not with anyone with power here. Looks around. I suppose I should thank you. I never got the chance to be consumed. And he technically didn't live up to his end either.
I guess both sides of the deal were broken.
The floor begins to like grow red and crack. The wood kind of smoking slightly. It's not for you. I hope I don't see you there. Goodbye, Kai.
Bye, Isaac.
And hundreds of arms begin coming out and grabbing onto him. Fuck, I'm not I'm going with you. And begin pulling him through the floor, which closes up after him.
He's gonna lean back in the chair. Take a drink.
Zara's at the bar.
You okay?
Golden.
Are you controlling it this time?
And then I float a drink over to Zara.
This little like rainbow like musical clef behind it as it skates through the air.
Perfect. See, my student has now learned. I am now a teacher.
You sure are, Zara.
Elton, you're watching as your party are all just like kind of tossing and turning and mumbling in their sleep.
Be a restless night, but nobody's screaming in their sleep. And I will actually get up after 30 minutes, an hour, maybe 2. Boredom of just sitting through the night, and I will walk over to whatever wooden piece of furniture happens to be provided in this room. Maybe it's a table, maybe it's a chair, or whatever. And I'll grab both sides of this.
Like a full driftwood bookshelf that is just like against one wall.
Books in it,
everything else
the
is
whole nine?
mostly wrought of stone. Yeah, no books on it. Just there's actually in one of the drawers on the bottom, like it pulls out, and there's a small like our Lord and Savior water Jesus.
Well, this will actually be perfect. I'm going to take it out and slap it on one of the shelves in the front.
Yeah.
Take both sides of the shelf, and as I push it together, I will cast Fabricate, and the entire thing shoves down into a small stack of pamphlets that are in my hand. And I pull one up, and it says, "The best kept secret on this or any plane. Follow list today." And I straighten them out and go over to the window and just open it up and throw like 2 or 3 out the window and close the window. Yep.
Slowly starts floating.
Try and wave them away.
A current takes him, and floating down slowly.
Get the rest of these out tomorrow before we go up. And I sit back down for the rest of my watch.
The rest of the night goes by without other noteworthy event. To you all awake in the morning.
Morning, sleepyheads.
Oh, thanks for watching all night.
Yeah, let me tell you, I'm not tired, but that's boring, man.
Yeah. Like watching grass grow.
Or paper be made, and I'll hand half the stack to Bauer.
Well, it's not a bad idea, actually.
Figure we might as well get some of them out. This is the last time we're going to be here, hopefully.
Is it okay? I would love if when he opens up the pamphlet, like the first one is a picture of like him in a suit. Like,
oh yeah, he's the face man for sure. There's some with like him doing finger guns.
Yeah, that's a couple of varied.
Hope you like them.
Yeah. They're great.
I just figured nobody's gonna like this face isn't gonna attract anybody. You know what I mean?
You could have done without the finger guns.
I don't know. They had a little pizzazz.
Sure. Not my first choice, but could be worse things.
I always called these finger daggers.
Yeah, I've heard that term too.
I've heard of another term for it, but I'll just leave it as it is.
All right. Anything we need to do before we head up, or right to it?
I think I'm ready.
Yeah, let's go.
Grab some walking grub on the way out, but
Can do so. Make your way back past. I remember I wrote down the name. I didn't even tell you. It's not just the library. It's the Canticle of Memories. I'm just bringing that up because I thought it was a cool fucking name. I
That is
just
pretty
didn't.
dope.
I was like, oh yeah, the library. You make your way past the Canticle of Memories, whose name you know.
I'm gonna keep my eye open for somebody following us, since I finally now know that somebody has been following us for for the whole day.
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
22.
22. Nobody. That's. You had to guess. There might be a stay clear order. Observe and report.
Okay.
You make your way to the lighthouse keep.
On the way to the lighthouse, I'm gonna keep my finger guns up, or my finger daggers, and every once in a while, I'm just gonna pop somebody in the back of the thigh as we walk, and then giggle maniacally.
keep swatting at them every time they do.
Have your preparations been made?
I believe so.
In case ascend the steps or swim. Steps are somewhat superfluous now that we're underwater.
I thought that was a bit showy, yeah.
Look, this wasn't always. I mean, wasn't always underwater. You'll see where the city once rested. Hopefully. Best of luck. I take it this Vaden is an unsavory sword.
Depends on who you're talking to, but I'm not a fan.
I appreciate you not creating trouble in my city while you were here.
Try not to.
Thank you for the hospitality.
I hope it wasn't the last piece of hospitality you'll encounter. Best of luck. You
Kind
might
of
be.
cryptic. Thank you.
It's a dangerous task you set upon. My understanding is he's already set the Red Mesa sigil.
Red Mesa sigil. All right.
More I cannot say.
All right, then let's go set the other three, shall we?
Here we go.
Okay. Ascending, swimming up the lighthouse spire. It is at the top that you break. You come to the surface of the water, where to actually ascend the rest of the way, you'll come out of the water. And as you get there, looking down, you see this the first spear taps her spear twice in the ground, and you all feel the magic that allows you to breathe underwater and converse begin to fade to allow you to step onto the stairs and take those last few steps before there's a landing at the very top, and where the in a normal lighthouse there'd be that pane of glass with either a fire or a mirror, some sort of light surface. There is a brilliant blue portal.
Oh.
Yes. It's just the four of us up here?
Yeah. You can see around you. There are no windows. It is just open to the expanse, and you can see around you the endless expanse of desert. In the distance, you see small buildings that have kind of collapsed and been partially buried in sand. Beneath you is this tremendous dome of water that you've spent the last few days in.
Can I stick my head through the portal and nothing else?
You can try.
What is that?
It's pulls you through the rest of the way, like as you are transported through space and planes and pulled all the way into. Will you do me a favor and roll 2d20s? Let me know what they are in order.
All right. First one is a 7. And the second one is a 16.
7 and 16. Perfect. As you land, well, we'll see. What are the rest of you guys doing?
As soon as it sucks our in, I'm running.
Shit. Yeah,
I'll just-
same.
I'll be the last one through, but I'll just stick a finger, see if it takes me to.
And yeah, it
Here we go.
wrenches you through. It is as each of you land down, Gabi, you having leaned forward, kind of stumbling to try to avoid falling in the sand in front of you. We're going to end there as you step foot for the first time on the island of Tarankel.
Nice.
Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. I hope you've had a lovely time. This is a roleplay heavy evening because the next few are going to be a lot of combat. Like,
It's okay, Mako.
we're going to be back, I think, on Thursday for games, probably SCP again,
hope
because
so.
that was a lot of fun. I'd love to do
Ooh.
that again in the next weekend for more Dungeons and Dragons. Thank you all so much. Have a great, ending to your weekend, and we will see you next time on Easy Dispel. Bye.